Thanks ever so much for coming, everybody. I'm just going to introduce the project very briefly, and also some of the people who really helped, not all of them are here. My name is Julian. I was brought in rather at the last minute to help with this project, and to my great joy and surprise, it's been an amazing experience. The idea was, there were these aerial photographs someone was talking about, and then when I actually started to look at the website, which you must do as well, Britain from Above, I suddenly realised that there was this vast archive of photographs that were in the care of the various bodies in England, Scotland and Wales. And what was really striking me was how powerful these aerial photographs were. And then looking up Kirkcudbright, I suddenly realised that here was this amazing view of Kirkcudbright within living memory, but still quite far away as well. And the more you looked at the photographs, the more detail came up. So we organised 3 drop-in sessions. And the first one was fairly quiet, but then the other 2, I couldn't believe it. People just piled in. And some of you were there and some of you weren't. But the time that people took to look at these photographs was absolutely, I found it really inspiring. And they argued with each other, and they talked with each other, and they pointed out all sorts of details. And you really felt that people from this town loved this town, and they wanted to tell you about it, and they wanted to tell each other about it, and they wanted to have memories about it, and the rest of it. And we tried to note things down, they noted things down, and then in this book that we have here, we've got some of their comments. And some of the comments are intensely detailed and full of fact. Some of them are just like, well, I was born there, but the tone of the voice, the delight in seeing their house from an odd angle was just a very special experience. I can't really say any more than that. So, we've now produced this book, and it will be available, well, it's available here now, but it will be available in the Stewardship Museum. And it's free, but we prefer if it was 1 copy per person. But it's like a present for the people of Duguid. Now then, some very special people were involved in this project, particularly Cathy Newbery. Cathy's been organising this special Britain from Above Borders project. So she's been liaising with people in Bowness, on Solway, and Cockermouth, and Annan, and us. And she's really looked after us and helped us to, source the photographs properly, deal with the right people, also inspire us on how to get people's responses and all the rest of it. So thank you very much, Cathy. And locally, couldn't be here today, David Deverell was a massive help. And then there's, we had a number of people helping in the drop-in sessions. Tanya, I can see there, who was a big help. You really prodded people to come out with their memories. And many others. We had Mike was at the drop-in sessions helping people. And unique contribution, Sam, who's behind the camera there. Sam also, as some of you know, has a camera copter. So the modern photographs of Kirkcudbright in the book, which sort of match the old photographs, they're all Sam's taken from the camera copter. And it really made a big difference. So thank you, Sam. And George also recorded the drop-in session, George Richard, and that made a big difference because those drop-in sessions were special. and many other people. They are credited in the book, but I just particularly wanted to pick up those people. So I'm going to hand over to Cathy.
Yeah, thank you. And also we need to thank Julian hugely, because without him it wouldn't have, this project wouldn't have happened in this way at all. We had some photographs, but we wanted a creative response, but we didn't know how that would happen in Kirkcudbright. So thanking you now, I think we'll thank you again later. So yeah, I'm Cathy Newbery, and I'm the project coordinator for the Borders project, so called because it's Cumbria and Dumfries and Galloway, so we're spanning the Solway. The idea of it, I was asked if I would project manage one of the community projects for Britain from Above, which is the online web archive of 95,000 images which were taken by aerofilms between 1919 and 1953. They came into the possession of English Heritage because they'd been sold as a collection, and they were just kind of, the trouble was they might disintegrate, fall apart, and the collection fall apart. So they got some monies together and purchased it for the nation, really, and then went about the job of preserving it and got together the Welsh and Scottish organisations because it covered the whole country. These were the very early photographs, aerial photographs taken by pilots that had been in the war, wanted something to do after they came out. They'd been on reconnaissance missions, so they were playing around with flying low, taking photographs with huge cameras hanging over the side of the plane, some images in the book which are just great, and then developing them in the bath in a hotel. So all very kind of, Heath Robinson on the hoof, and now aerial images, Google Earth, cameracopters, drones, they're all kind of, we take it for every day, really. So it's really lovely to be able to bring this collection to communities like yourself to look at how places change, or maybe how they don't. What I find really interesting about Sam's images when they're put in black and white next to the historic images is that they actually all become timeless. So it's unless you've got the memory or the experience looking at that image, you can actually tell what's happened and changed. So Brian Wilkinson would have been here today from the Royal Historic Monuments of Scotland, but he unfortunately has got, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, he's got a job interview for a project that will come online after Britain from Above, because we're at the very end of this 4-year scheme to actually conserve, digitise and animate and involve the community in these images. They'll be available online, for as long as the internet kind of exists now. So please go online. All you have to do is type in a place you're looking for, and it will bring up any images that they have on that place. It's very easy to use. If you want to know a bit more or zoom in and actually annotate the images yourself, you just need to join, which is logging in and having your email address and just confirming that. So it's quite an easy thing to do. But please do have a look, because it's really interesting. And within the website, what we've done, if you're interested more in the Borders project, we've created a gallery of all the 4 projects that have happened. What we've been doing with Borders is just working with different communities with their images, and to try and find a creative way for that community to find out more about them. So here we have the photographs and some memories and anecdotes and new aerial photographs. In Annan tonight, they're launching a book which uses the images but then has created new writing from that, so poems and prose, which they brought in different experts from the area to give them a 10-minute lecture, and then responded to the image and that lecture to create their own work. So, and they've been incredibly productive. They created about 40 different pieces of new writing in 6 weeks, and there's only 100 of their books, so if you want one, you better be quick. And then on the other side in Cumbria, we've had a slightly different way of going. We've had a visual arts response in Bowness and Solway, working with the Solway Wetlands Partnership next to the old viaduct ruins. There's RSPB Countfield Marsh Centre, and we can go and explore the wetlands, go and look at the hide, see the birds. And over the summer we work with 45 9 to 14-year-olds exploring those habitats scan the images and create a new artwork from that. So they've created a mural with using lime and clay, which there's an image on one of the postcards over there. Then they've also we've made a new bridge. Sorry, it's not connecting Annan and Bowness. We didn't have enough money for that. It's just a little 2-metre bridge across one of the peat bogs, using Beck Fab Lab with laser cutters to create a whole new technology to create something in that environment. And then in Cockermouth, with the Civic Trust, we've created a leaflet that goes with the town trail using kind of nothing on this scale. It's using the aerial images to prompt stories and add to the history trail. So now you can do an aerial tour, obviously walking, but using the images to have another way around town. So that's what we've done. Some of those bits of work are on the website to have a look at. Others, obviously, are just in this material. There's postcards on that table of all those projects, telling you a little bit more information about where you go and find them, where you get the books from. So in Annan, it's the museum that are going to be holding the books. But you can't get along to the market hall tonight at 6:30 to grab your copy. And there's also some other postcards from other places, so do have a look. It's been a fantastic project for me. I never get to work across the border, so it's been lovely to do something that kind of connects our communities a bit, and it might be the start of something else. If Brian gets this job, it might be, because it's looking at urban, sort of a similar thing, but on an urban project basis. And I hope this is just the start for people to actually think about maybe how they can use the archive more. So thanks very much, and a special thank you to the Kirkcudbright Historical, isn't it? It's historical.
History Society.
History Society, yeah, History Society for being such a good partner in pushing this forward and making sure facts are right. Because there's always this tension between getting your facts right and having a creative response. And that's been quite an interesting conversation, I think, for everybody involved in the project. And I'd like to hand over to Mike, who's going to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Cathy. Yes, Mike Duguid. I'm representing the Kirkcudbright History Society. First of all, to say how delighted we were that Kirkcudbright was chosen as one of the 4 focus sites for the Britain Above Borders project. And how pleased we were to be able to offer help for Cathy and Julian, albeit at short notice, to come and help at the drop-in sessions. And how pleased we were with those drop-in sessions. We had over 150 people came to them. And certainly, if anybody came in, you saw, just as the photographs showed, there was a buzz with people discussing the photographs. And I was just intrigued at the things that went on in the girls' boarding house. And who the local worthies were climbing into the windows at times of day and night. And yeah, it was just fascinating seeing and hearing the stories about the local history of the town. And to say, I guess, a big thank you to both the History Society and people from elsewhere, members who came to help with those drop-in sessions. But also to compliment you really on this production of this in very short notice, I must say. Yeah, how pleased and impressed I am to have something of this substance done so quickly and matched up with Sam's wonderful aerial views from his now defunct, I understand, gyrocopter machine that landed in the Dee River during the rotary duck race. So, hopefully we'll get back on its feet sometime. But,
rotary will maybe buy me a new one.
You never know, Sam, you can always put in a bid. Yeah, I think it's been a great success, as you said, Julian, and the History Society were delighted to be involved and have such a fine record of the project. So thanks very much indeed.
So please just enjoy looking at the camera copter images on the screen and chatting to anybody about the book itself and the project, and mingle and tell other people about the work. Brilliant, thank you.
maybe you